On today's video, I'm going to be reading Milk and Honey Devotional by Cambria Joy. Haggi, a taste of priorities. You looked for much, and behold, it came to a little. And when you brought it home, I blew it away. Why? Declares the Lord of hosts, because of my house that lies in ruins, while each of you busies himself with his own house. Haggi 1:9. Our life is a sum of our priorities. We make time for things we value, and we make excuses for things we don't. The reality of that statement can be sobering because it requires us to take responsibility for our choices. The redemption of that statement is freeing because it allows us to clearly see what matters most to us. Picture it. A life without priorities doesn't look very promising. We prove to ourselves and the people around us where our hearts lie with how much we spend our time. Of course, everyone wants to spend time well, but it seems we can't struggle to do it just that. When we prioritize the temporary over the eternal, we find within us a hollowness inside our souls. There's something that stirs wonder in my heart hearing about famous people with hearts after God. The person who has everything, possessing the one thing everyone needs. It reminds me of when a wealthy young man came to Jesus and asked him what he must do to receive eternal life. Jesus answered him that he already knew the commandments and proceeded to list some of them. Do not commit adultery, do not murder, do not steal, do not bear false witness, honor your father and mother. Luke 18:20. The rich man confirmed he'd done these things since youth. Jesus responded to that with, you still lack one thing. Sell everything you have and give to the poor. You will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me. Jesus tapped into the number one priority in this guy's heart and then instructed him to get rid of it all. All of it. Jesus is guiding him to make room. Room for what exactly? Notice one of the commandments Jesus just so happens to not list at the beginning of the conversation is the most important one. It seems Jesus tried to indirectly reveal this by putting his finger directly on the one thing that mattered most to him. A hint that one thing he lacked was fulfillment of the greatest commandment of all. To love God with all your heart, all. That's what matters the most. Jesus invites him to rearrange his list in a proper order to sell all he has, give it to the poor, and then follow him. The young guy gets really sad because, as sincere as he was also quite wealthy. You get the picture. Jesus was setting his priorities straight before he called him to follow him. He desired him to love him with everything he had. That's what Jesus wanted more than anything, the top spot in his heart. Every time I've tried to prioritize anything over my love for God, it brought me sadness. It wasn't as though my life necessarily crushed and burned, probably because of God's mercy, but the river of life that ran through me felt shallow. Whether it was boys, my body, or my business, didn't matter what was at the top. If it wasn't Jesus, it always seemed to bring me down. I must regularly ask God to search my heart and be the king of my heart, because only then can anything else be life-giving. May we make God the priority of our life because he gave his life for us. We don't need to be afraid we're lacking on anything if we seek him first, because he promised to give us everything if we do that one thing. When lots of things make their way to the top of our list, God doesn't write us off as a failure. He simply invites us to rearrange that list. Whatever the deepest dream your heart holds, if you delight in him the most, you'll find every desire fulfilled. Don't take my word for it. Check out Psalm 37:4. If we lack the one thing, we'll live without life. But what it shows us to know that list of things that really matter isn't very long. May we make room to love God with everything we are and find he fits the space so well. We don't want even one more thing.